The truth of the matter is that in my world, I was raised up or privy to molestation, incest, preachers taking advantage of children and adults, not doing anything about it. I remember we used to go to one particular church all the time. You know how they called it fellowshipping, And the pastor there, he would kiss the girls in the mouth. His lips were wet. So I was a young thing, And so what I viewed was him kissing all of the young people and the adults not doing anything about it, like as if it was innocent, grab your chin, right in the mouth, wet lips, I talked to my sister about it as we got older. My sister get her. She's like, she never did let him do that. She, and he didn't bother her anymore. And it made me feel bad because I'm like, there was just a lot of things that went on in the church that just had me with a blank stare, and that was one of them. The fact that he did that and the adults didn't do anything about it. And because of, and then I later found out, from but anyway, you would wonder why some people turned out in the way that they did. I later found out that, within families, men were molesting their either sons or grandsons or whatever, and I always wondered, but I later found out a lot of things. So yeah, one of the things that I observed coming up in the church is that it just didn't matter what the preachers did. It was always shh, don't say anything. It's one of the reasons why when I started my pastor's ex-wife channel, or when Terrence, see what Terrence would do is he really had a gift of listening. And Terrence would listen to me and I would just talk, and I would just talk. Y'all ever do that? Oh, wait a scratch it though. Anyway, and he had a gift. It was really a gift. Any man that listens to me, that's a gift, man. And Terrence, he listened. He has the gift of listening. Terrence listened so good that a week later he could repeat what you said to him. Well, when you said, and I'm like, you remember that. So he's definitely a good listener. And so by him listening to me, he said, you need to talk. That's what Terrence came in one day. Because Terrence was always in the other room. When I met him, he was doing his thing. And when we began to cohabitate together, he was always in the other room. And I remember one day he came in and got in the bed with me, and we were laying next to each other. And I remember we were laying like this. Now I was falling asleep. So we both were on our backs is what I'm saying. And then I remember Terrence said, you need to talk. I'm like, huh? He said, you need to talk. You need to tell your story. You need to get it out there. And basically he said, just start talking. And then he told me how to do it. And he said, take my tape recorder and just start talking on that. And that's literally what I did. And then I just started expressing my heart about my upbringing and my life and everything that I had gone through. And I just video after video after video, but mainly for the audio. I was just talking and talking and talking. And then I took all of that and sent it to some freelancers, and they put it all, they transcribed it, and then I proceeded to give it over to the editor to make that shit happen. And hence you have the pastor's ex-wife by Lynn Littlejohn. And it's just basically me chronicling my life. I have had a lot of women, and you know, because I am so controversial, I've done such a 180. I have followers, but they are silent followers. People that don't want people to know that they are following me, or you know, think this of me, or admire me, or that they are inspired by me. They would just preference to keep it on the down low and just continue to follow me. But having said that, I have a lot of people that are not ashamed of letting someone know that they admire me, and they thank me. And I remember when I started my YouTube channel, I even had youth to reach out to me and saying, one young lady said, "I'm 12 and you helped me." And one pastor's wife, she was white because I went to her YouTube channel, but she wrote me this like long letter, and she began to tell me the things that she went through. One of the things she was saying, how that when she was coming up, she was molested, you know, and how that when this man came into her life, she said that he would always listen to her and said that he was there for her, you know, her support system. She's like, I can't leave him, you know, because he's been there through my ups and downs. Basically, she had evolved out of that bullshit, and I could tell that she really didn't want to be in the arena that she was in. That she was in at that particular time. And she said, but I can't leave him, you know, because he was there for me when I needed him. And you know, that also is a trap. So what I did was, because she had already been with him for many years, what I did was I went to her YouTube channel, and you know, I look at them in that church service, small church, just same thing like what I was used to, but they were white. Barely anybody there, just a handful of people. Got the little kids, you know, singing, you know, I am a promise, I am a possibility, I am a promise with a capital P. I am a great big bundle of potentiality, and I am trying to hear God's voice, and I am trying to make the right choice, and I am trying to be everything He wants me to be. And you know, with the little tamarines, with the little drum set, you know, same thing. And I corresponded to encourage her. And I've had people, lots of women on Facebook, to hit me and to tell me that I'm such an inspiration, that I've really helped them. I even had one young lady tell me that she had been following me since day one, and that I was the cause of her being able to break through her dilemma of what she was going through. I also have another young lady that told me, you never knew it, but I've been following you since the very beginning, and began to tell me some of the things, lots of the videos, you know. So if you followed my journey, you have seen the craziness of my journey. But I'm here to let you know, honey, I don't care how sideways I may have went with my twerking and the bikinis and I don't make no apologies for my Brazilian butt, you know, showing that, because I am so glad that I did that. And it is
to show it is to help many women that are thinking of making making up their mind as to whether or not they want to do it. And so for something like that, you want to be able to see it. And so I don't make no apologies for nothing I did, but I will say there's some things that I did that I would never do again, right? So yeah, I was raised up. I always felt like that the church had each other's back, kind of like the police department. They had each other's back. And it's like, just don't say nothing, just pray about it. Everything was always just pray about it. So I said that to say this, that it truly is a wonder that I survived. One thing is true is that a lot of times when you get molested, the molester will feed your mind a bunch of bullshit. They'll tell you things like, I'm doing this because I love you and this is okay. Love is always okay. If you tell your mom, it's going to break her heart, and of course as a kid you don't want to break your mom's heart. So it's just a lot of things that goes on in the church that, again, it's a wonder I even survived. But I'm a survivor.